Tap, swipe, and suffer. Why I stay away from credit cards. You're out with your friends and you feel a bit lavish. Got no cash? No problem. That card in your pocket can get you out of trouble with just a tap. Suddenly you feel invincible. You feel like nothing can stop you, not even the hefty credit limit of that card. You're out to live your best life and you're in for it. You'll be in a cloud of bliss, and a few days will pass before the statement finally arrives. Soon enough, you realize you owe more than what you can produce, and you start wondering how you ended up here. It might sound like I'm describing you, but you're not alone. It has happened to me. Maybe your best friend, your partner, your relative. It can happen to anyone, and that's what made me hate credit cards. The question is, how did we get here? Are credit cards really that bad? Mastering self-control. Is it possible? One of the reasons I have a love-hate relationship with credit cards is because mastering self-control can be an ongoing challenge. As human beings, we're wired to seek instant gratification. We often want what we want, and we want it now. Credit cards can be both a helpful tool and a slippery slope into impulsive spending, jeopardizing our financial well-being. Credit cards, thanks to their convenience and ease of use, can undermine self-control in managing our finances. The temptation to make purchases without immediate consequences can lead to impulsive buying habits. It's all too easy to become carried away, racking up debt and compromising our financial stability. Practicing self-control may not always be the most thrilling option, but it's a vital skill to master. In the long run, it offers a lot of benefits, including the ability to work towards financial goals such as purchasing a home or enjoying a debt-free future. Resisting the urge for instant gratification can be challenging, but it's a skill that pays off in the long run. One common reason why many people struggle with self-control and succumb to impulsive spending is the absence of a budget. Without a clear financial plan, it's easy to lose track of how seemingly small purchases accumulate into significant debts. Creating a budget doesn't have to be intimidating. You could just start by listing your monthly income and tracking your expenses. This approach provides clarity on what you can afford, promoting better financial decision-making. Yet, even if you ever manage to master self-control, the dangers of misusing a credit card might still linger on the horizon. What's the catch? Like many of you, I always wonder, what's the catch? When someone approaches you and offers you a credit card, it's a fair question to ask. Most times, the person offering that card will just paint the nice picture. You don't have to pay an annual fee to use the card, you have X number of days to pay, you get access to benefits, and so many nice things. But will these benefits be of use if you're ever unable to pay your card on time? What if there's an emergency? The importance of self-control in credit card usage isn't just a matter of being morally superior, it's a practical matter. Credit card interest rates can be substantial, resulting in higher overall costs for your purchases if you don't settle your bill in full every month. Imagine you buy some designer clothing for $10,000 with a credit card that charges an 18% interest rate. If you settle for paying only the minimum fee of $200 every month, the clothing could end up costing you over $18,000 by the time it's fully paid off in 7 years. That's because the interest keeps adding up, making your purchases more expensive in the long run. If that wasn't enough, the seemingly stable annual percentage rate, often referred to as APR, that you initially believed you had on your credit card could, in reality, have been an introductory rate, susceptible to escalation after a specified period of time. A 5% APR can easily go up to 20% in an instant. Consequently, any outstanding balance you accumulate on that card can swiftly become significantly more costly. Sure, you might think this will never happen to you as you'll commit to paying your balance in full before the deadline hits. And while that might sound like a nice and responsible thought, you never know when an emergency will hit. From home repairs to medical bills, your emergency fund might fall short 1 month, and suddenly you'll have to decide whether to attend to your emergencies or clear off your balance. So, even if you've got the self-control to avoid impulsive spending, the hidden fees and high interest rates associated with credit cards can still catch you off guard, hurting your reputation. "I don't care what people think of me" has been a great mantra to build self-confidence and a vibrant social life. But it's a bit hard to apply this principle to banks and the people you love. When it comes to financial matters, you definitely want them to trust you and think you're a responsible person who knows how to handle money. What if you're faced with an unexpected credit card emergency, perhaps a medical bill or a car repair? The quickest solution may seem to be asking for a loan, whether from another bank or a relative. However, failing to pay them back on time can really damage not only your finances, but also your reputation. Neglecting to pay your credit card balances can lead to a decline in your credit score, potentially resulting in unanticipated rate hikes on things like your insurance premiums. Why? Insurance companies that consider credit scores when setting premiums might infer that if you struggle to manage your bills, you could potentially neglect essential responsibilities like maintaining your car or home, or they might perceive you as a higher risk individual due to financial irresponsibility. However, poor credit scores can have broader repercussions. Certain employers incorporate credit checks into their hiring process and may refrain from hiring you if your score falls below a certain threshold. Moreover, your credit score holds significant weight when you're in the market to buy or refinance a home. It not only influences the interest rate on your mortgage, but also determines your eligibility for a mortgage in the first place. Studies have shown that families tend to argue about money more than any other subject. The subject can be particularly sensitive when families don't have enough money, or when a person has loaned so much from other relatives and the spending doesn't seem to stop. So, it's clear that the consequences of credit card misuse go beyond just numbers on a statement. They can affect your relationships, your reputation, and even your future financial opportunities. It's crucial to be mindful of these repercussions and exercise responsible credit card use to maintain peace with others and yourself. Conclusion. Ultimately, credit cards can lead us down a treacherous path of blind spending, financial instability, and ruin our peace of mind. Recent data shows that delinquency rates are creeping towards the highest point since 2012, leaving many Americans struggling to keep up. And thanks to inflation, APR has soared to an alarming record of 20%. Even a modest $5,000 debt, the average for many Americans, could take a staggering 279 months and $8,000 in interest to pay off at those current APR levels. The situation becomes even more alarming when considering the growing number of debt collection lawsuits, which is constantly increasing, with many consumers unaware or financially unable to respond. Debt collectors often count on obtaining default judgments, enabling them to garnish wages, place liens on property, and freeze bank accounts. With all these factors playing against use, it's evident that a moment of pleasure is not worth a lifetime of mental and financial instability. So, next time you're about to swipe or tap that card, take a moment to pause and reflect. Is this purchase truly worth it? Does it align with your budget and financial goals? Or is it just the beginning of a potentially perilous path?